Hmm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Wrestling Wire. Uh, we are happy to see everybody. Welcome back. What a nice day out it is. We got a great overcast. Weather's nice and cool. It's finally starting to feel like fall in this joint. Ugh. What a weekend, folks. What a weekend. Yesterday, we were at a show, right? Show had a rock concert. The show had professional wrestling. There was radio personalities there. There was some crazy ass fans there. There was apparently somebody trespassing. The cops showed up. There was a whole cluster of things going on at yesterday's show. Um, American Wrestling League, along with the assistance of Pro Wrestling Union, held CPW's takeover. Now, obviously, this is the Sunday show. This is where we talk to big leagues. Uh, just gonna kind of give it a quick overview, real quick. Badass event from start to finish. And what we're going to do is this coming Thursday on the Thursday Night Indie Spotlight, we'll recap the whole show. Talk about the card. We'll talk about, the winners and losers. We'll talk about all that. Then we'll move into what's coming up for the next week, including his pro wrestling in Packlet, South Carolina, as well as the Haliotsko Memorial Cup, which is coming to the Rutherfordton, North Carolina area, Gilkey Community Center, I believe it is. And we're going to be joined by Holly's father, Gene Perry, who's been a guest on the show before. He'll be here, so we'll talk about all the goods right then and there. So anyway, is there a better story in professional wrestling right now than the Bloodline and Sami Zayn? Because I really don't think there is. Um, I'm not a Sami guy. I'm really not. Um, but he's not a bad wrestler. He can go when he needs to. He looks to be getting in better shape. He's in better shape than he was when he came back after being gone for however long. Um, he came back looking rough. Now he's starting to get some definition and tone back to him. The hair and the beard's still a bit much. He looks kind of mangy, but it is what it is. I really believe that is probably the best story going on at this time when it comes to the WWE brand. When it comes to the AEW brand, there's so much going on in one show that it's hard to pick where's your what's your favorite button on that one. In my case, I'm still leaning towards the Blackpool Combat Club being the best thing going that they've got. Um, the work that they're doing with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn, fantastic. I'm liking the direction of that. I'm liking how it's being portrayed and carried out. That's fantastic. If they go the cheap route and and use Billy to screw them over to get his boys the title, I think that's weak. I don't think they are as good of a tag team as they should be to be even considered for that role. There are a lot of other teams in that company that could be doing this. Um, yeah, we don't have to go any further with that, right? Cool. So anyway, let's go ahead and get this ball rolling, get the show on the road. Opening matchup for this week's Monday Night Raw was Bobby Lashley and Seth freaking Rollins. Bobby defeated him. Okay. It was a fantastic match. What I get that they're still going with the Riddle and Rollins storyline, and I get that that's the direction this is heading. But by and large, they definitely need to get this stuff going on to get it out there. Why is it sending me a notification that I need to start the live video when the live video is already running? Oh, I'm definitely not doing this from my phone. What the heck is wrong with this thing? I'm guessing StreamYard and Facebook are having some sort of interface issue where they're not communicating between each other properly. But alas, we'll carry on. So next up, we had Damage Control coming out, celebrating, talking about how they're the greatest and they won and yada yada. Obviously, we're still heading towards Bailey and Bianca. That's good. That's a nice paced build. I am so sick of instant gratification wins. It's freaking annoying. You got to let the story marinate. You got to let people get into the story so they give a damn about what's going to happen. That happens on every level of everything. You got invested in Tony Stark, so you cared when he died in Endgame. You got invested in Shawn Michaels when he finally won his belt. You got invested in Rocky 1 so that when he won in Rocky 2, you were all about it. And over and over and over again, the story never changes. You get invested in a great story. So why rush it? The rushes and the quick changes, things like that, are just detrimental to the storyline. They are abysmal when it comes to developing this stuff. You've got to have a pace, a cadence. A cadence is a great word. There's always a good pace and cadence to a really good matchup as well. You see that on every level. You see the stunt ponies, you see what they're about, and you see how they go. But then you have these other matches where you've got this great story and the bad guy is getting under the fan's skin and he's pissing them off. He's ripping their sign. They're arguing with them back and forth. But it's all control because they know what they're doing. When you just have guys going out there rapid fire, flip, 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 you can't get invested in it because you're just like, oh, wow, I'm watching Jackass in a wrestling ring now. And that's kind of what it feels like. By no way am I taking away from Sami Zayn's best matchup ever. The Jackass thing he did with Johnny Knoxville was pure money. Um, but you guys get what I'm talking about. If you follow wrestling at all, you fully understand where I'm coming from. Next up on Monday Night Raw, we had Kevin Owens defeating Austin Theory. This was a badass matchup. I'm kind of confused at why they're going with the pop up power bomb as KO's finisher now instead of keeping him with the stunner. I I like it, but there's just so many different things that you could do, and the stunner, in my opinion, fits KO, his personality, his his build, and the way he does it. The pop up power bomb looks awesome, no doubt about it, but it's more designed for a powerhouse wrestler instead of a brawler. So, and if I'm wrong, correct me because the comment section's wide open. So, Jesus Christ. Well, unfortunately, we're not going to make it a day without hearing from fucking hashtag Goof himself. Um, Sami Zayn is pure money, unlike you, sir. Unlike me, sir. Um, I guess you didn't know that there are people in this world, unlike you, and more than likely unbeknownst to you. You can't live under a rock. Hashtag goof. You've got to be out and about and in the real world to experience the real things that are really going on. Speaking of, if I'm so terrible, why the hell are you watching my show? Make it make sense. You can't. Thanks. Anyway, moving on to more important things. Uh, I I just agree. I just think that with Kevin Owens using the stunner or some other brutal move instead of something that's more built towards a powerhouse move, I think it would look way better. Uh, and that's really all that matters. watching to see what not to do. Interesting. That would matter if you were still producing shows and doing shows and live streams and podcasts and all that. But uh, I think you retired 3 more times this week. Have a good one, Rick. Let's see here. The Brawling Brutes met the Street Profits and defeated them, which so I get it. I get the direction that they're going with them. So here's hoping that they keep building on the Brawling Brutes because the Brutes are not a bad team. I don't care for the name change on Butch, obviously, at all. Pete Dunne was way better. Pete Dunne's got recognition. And at some point, I'm hoping they find a way to. They need to go do like a bar scene or something and get him hammered or something and have him get in a bar fight and get hit in the head with a beer mug or something and go, my name's not Butch, Pete or something, and go like that. That would make more sense to me. I would actually probably like it a whole lot better if they just did that. They stuck with the real name and went on from there. Um, the Judgment Day defeated Rey Mysterio and Matt Riddle. So we go from Riddle interfering to Rollins to Riddle being in a match with Rey Mysterio. I'm trying to figure out if this is all building back towards Randy coming back. To interject, Randy and Rollins had a fantastic feud. They've had a couple of them, just fantastic rivalries, great matchups. These are the things that need to continue and carry on. People didn't get as tired of The Rock and Austin as they did Randy and Cena. However, they were still entertained by it. So, in the long run, in the grand scheme of things, you've got to be able to roll with it and keep on going and keep moving forward. Beyond all everything, the direction of anything needs to be forward, upward, onward. You need to keep going and keep pressing. Whether that's in your personal life, your professional life, your hobby, whatever, that needs to be the way because this is the way. Uh, Dexter Loomis cut through the ring and grabbed the Miz. Funny as hell. I was really hoping that they were gonna do a little bit more with this. But man, when Loomis got hit in the head with the microphone, speaking of, I got a knot there, but I don't have a mark. I was just making sure I wasn't bleeding from getting hit in the head with a microphone. Anyway, Dexter Loomis got struck ridiculously on top. Like it was crisp and clean and everything. I was like, that dude's gonna be bleeding when he comes up. Watch. I was surprised he was not bleeding. Bailey versus Alexa Bliss. This match was awesome as well too. Um, they hadn't gone up against each other in like 2 years, but man, did they make it look good. Then Bianca comes out and tries to make the save. They beat her down. After it all ends, Bailey finally challenged Bianca. So you see how early in the show they kept this seed planted and it just kept going and it kept ticking and it kept ticking. And then, pff, ding, fries are done. The pizza's ready. The buzzer went off. The light has turned on. All of these things matter. They make everything matter. It doesn't seem like anything's just a useless spot anymore. Remember, everything felt like a throwaway at one point in time? Or on some other shows, certain things feel like they're throwaways and stuff does not add up and doesn't fit the bill. The WWE has shifted that and is finally making it make more sense and making it deliver on all the points that need to be delivered upon. Um, I am excited that they're moving towards Extreme Rules. I think that's going to be a pretty decent pay per view. Um, I haven't been the biggest fan of the way that they do their Extreme Rules as of late, but uh, man, the way it's been going now, it seems as though they are setting up a few more matches to be a little bit more extreme because here in the last couple of years, you've had like one gimmick match or one hardcore match or one extreme rules match or whatever they want to call it now. Um, I think that the whole show should be one. Now, obviously, it shouldn't be extreme rules for every match because that's going to be dumb. However, this would be a great place to have a tables match, a ladder match, a chairs match in one. Uh, no holds barred, a falls count anywhere. You know, put every different gimmick you got together, other than the Hell in a Cell, and run it all on one night. That would work for me because everything's going to be different. It's a variety show. Everything's going to be different, and everything's still going to have a meaning. These are the seeds that need to be planted. And whether or not any of ours, anybody's ideas get leaked back or told or whatever, that's all well and good. Um, there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of information moves real quick. And trust me when I tell you, you have no idea how fast a word can go from one person to 50 others. If you don't believe me, try my one social experiment. Are you ready? I'll tell you what it is. What I did was, I knew that I had a rat in my midst. I knew that I had somebody who was going to run tell that to anybody and everybody trying to stir up some shit. So, what I did was I decided I would say to person A, "Hey man, you know what? I applied for this job over here in Corpus Christi. Yep. I'm gonna see if I can get me a transfer, get the hell out of Dodge. I'm gonna roll." I went to person B and I said, "Hey man, look, there was a job opening down in Florida. I put in for it, man. I'm hoping I get this transfer. I want to get the hell away from here." I went to person C. "Hey man, there was this job opening in. I put in for it because I really think I need to go home, get up out of here. I need to get back. I need to get back to Virginia and Southern Maryland. I need to go home. I'm tired of being here." And I waited. Would you believe that within 3 days' time, I had a phone call from two or three levels above me? "Hey, we heard you were leaving. You going here?" And when they said which place, I told which person, I knew who the rat was. They buried themselves. Easy, right? Take a lesson, ladies and gentlemen. You can always control your narrative. Ooh, there's a company that a lot of people are pissy about these days. A bunch of guys who came from the big shows are trying to do something on their own, and because they're not meeting a level of success of television, all these fans are, "Oh my God, look at them. They're still doing more than you ever could. They're still doing more than you did. And they're still making a living doing something they love doing." Most of us hate our 9 to 5s. Most of us hate our jobs. They're still doing something they love doing and they're getting paid for it. But you want to ridicule them. The kicker with most of these guys is this: when they sell a show, they don't have to rely on the gate to get paid. They're relying on the show itself being sold. Do the wheels turn for you yet? The sponsor's already paid for it. The venue already been paid for it. Everybody's already been paid. The gate is the icing on the cake. Oh, the gate. Let me help you folks out. The gate means the guy's coming through the door and buying a ticket. Those ticket purchases, that's the gate. I'll elaborate because I know I've got some people in the audience who don't have a clue of what I'm talking about. But there, I'll help you with that too. Um, so let's talk NXT. NXT has been coming back. I've been watching the last 3 weeks religiously again. I don't quite have that warm and fuzzy black and gold feeling yet. I don't have that yet, but you know I'm getting warmer. I'm getting warmer. I'm getting there. Starting to like it more. Um, Solo Sikoa was forced to relinquish the NXT North American title. I get it. I don't like it all that much, but I understand how and why they did it. You're not going to want this kid traveling from NXT to SmackDown, NXT to Raw, NXT to whatever every week. You're going to burn his ass out on travel. You're going to burn his ass out on matches. Look, he's a big dude. That is a pretty good sized individual right there, okay? Mileage on those guys is not a great thing. Roman Reigns is special. You need to keep him special. The Usos are on TV way more than I think they should be. That's yet again my opinion, and I could be wrong. I'm never going to sit here and tell you that I'm 100% right. However, I am going to tell you that I believe that there are different levels of interest for different players in the game. Okay, Solo Sikoa, he's still got that mystery about him. He's a younger guy. He's still hungry. He's still got that desire and drive. Man, people are going to be investing in him. I am a huge believer in Solo Sikoa. I think that that's going to be a phenomenal. You're looking at the next 15 years right here in front of us now, starting this year, 15 years from now. Solo Sikoa is still going to be there. No ifs, ands, buts about it. They went on to then have Nathan Frazier and Axiom go at it again. They are doing a best of 3 series. This is something we don't see too often, but they normally end up in weird odd couple tag teams after a while. Don't know why, but let's hope we don't get that. I don't want to see these guys tag up after this. I'm glad that we're halfway done this. It's now tied 1 apiece, so they got 1 more match. Are they going to do a gimmick match for the tiebreaker? It's just another straight up match. It's been good. Both matches so far have been fantastic. I believe that there was a couple of botches in this that I didn't care for, but that final sequence in that matchup was fantastic. There are a lot of things that Nathan Frazier does well. There are a lot of things that Axiom does well. I'm not into that style of wrestling all that much. But it's, as you can see, this was one match out of that night where it was built that way. When everything looks the same, it becomes convoluted and nothing special, nothing sticks out to you. This match stuck out in that 2-hour show. Toxic Attraction defeated Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley. This was awesome. Yet again, some botches. Okay. Not everything looked as crisp or clean or great as it could, but in the overall grand scheme of things, there was nothing wrong with this match. Most people out there couldn't have seen it. Most people out there didn't see it. There comes a point where I have to take myself out of where I am and sit back and try to enjoy something as a fan. and it's hard to turn that brain off. It's no different than, what I do day to day. I spent 20 years with these hands being a wire nut. This is all I knew how to do was wire things up. Now to have to sit down and, be on a headset all day with a keyboard and mouse in front of me, and I'm like, yeah, it's hard to turn off that brain. This happens even in professional wrestling when you go from watching it as a fan to being involved in the business to sitting down doing a podcast and having a discussion like I am with you fine people out there minus one. Speaking of fine individuals, Mr. Consigliere, Mr. Royce, how are you doing today? How are you feeling this morning or this afternoon, sir? I hope you're feeling well, actually. Let's see here. The Schism, which is Joe Gacy's faction. I still haven't gotten all of this together to why it's working. It's so odd that it makes sense. It's so irrelevant. It's relevant. It's so abstract. It's defined. It's weird. It is so weird how they're doing this. But it's fantastic. Um, I am not a fan of either of the dudes from NXT UK shaving their beards. That is a loss for me. They look weird without a beard. Joe Gacy's got a beard. Why didn't they keep theirs? Just trim them down or something. But the clean shaved look on those two cats doesn't fit. I don't get it. It's like, dude, they don't look like they were the same guys at all. Maybe that's the point. But it doesn't sit all that well with me. I don't know. But they're still badasses in the ring because they defeated Edris Enofi and Malik Blade. Fantastic matchup. You guys have got to see this stuff to believe it. Next up, Cora Jade and Wendy Chu. A lot of people crap on Wendy Chu for her gimmick. Okay, I like it. I think it's funny. It reminds me of my wife, somebody who doesn't want to get out of their jammies, somebody who wants to take naps, somebody who loves their coffee. It's my wife as a wrestling character. That's what that is. And I think it's a hoot. I think it's funny. It's enjoyable. Why crap on it because you don't like it? I get the point of crapping on what you don't like, but you can't find the positive in anything. I can find the positive because the woman's exceptional. She's a fantastic wrestler. Wendy Chu is awesome. And she showed it. Was there some weird glitches in this? Yeah, there were some glitches in the mainframe on this matrix of a match. You're not wrong. But to say that she's terrible is you being asinine and putting your bias blinders on again. I don't deal with it. That doesn't work for me. Cora Jade, one of the most talented young women in the roster, no doubt about it. I really have a feeling you're going to see both of them in the ring for the next 10 years or so. No doubt about it. That's the other kicker I'm noticing about WWE with their building right now. I'm seeing a lot of the newer and younger coming up, but I see longevity in the way they're being presented, which is what all the professional wrestlers really want is a long career. If you told me that I have a choice to go in for 1 year, win 3 world championships, and be done after a year versus go in, last 15 years, and never win a world title, I probably take the 15 years because I'm going to get paid more and have more money, more exposure, and more time in, and more that I can do with it afterwards. Yeah, everybody's goal should be to win the world title. But everybody could also be like, hey, man, I just want to be around for a while. I just want to enjoy the show. I'd rather just be in it forever than I would be a 3-time champ in a year. I don't know. Maybe I'm broken on that. Everybody's goal should be to be the champ, but it wouldn't be mine. Obviously, I'm not that big of a person, so. Carmelo Hayes comes out and claims he's still the champ. Andre Chase and Bodie Hayward defeated Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. Why is Carmelo Hayes on a losing streak? Why is that? That's dumb. Mello is money. That's real. Trick Williams, he's all right. He's got some moves about him. He's okay on the mic. I'll go with okay on the mic at best. But man, Carmelo is fantastic on the microphone. Andrew Chase is still an awkward presentation. Man, for real, Trick Williams, dude. What is it about Trick Williams though? Like, Brino, would you like to come on and talk about about Trick Williams and some of these big leagues? Because there's some stuff I just don't get about it. I guess I wouldn't mind hearing from somebody in the business who knows what they're talking about. Uh, After that, man, we had Von Wagner defeated Sanga. Why are you having Sanga lose? Why is Von Wagner winning? Those are two things that I don't understand yet. I just I don't find Von Wagner to be entertaining. I don't find him to be very good in the ring. Sanga, for what little bit of him we have seen, his presence in the back, his cadence on the microphone, his work in the ring. I like this guy. I think he's awesome. Um, there's a lot to it, and I feel like Sanga could go places. I don't see him. Don't get me wrong. I don't see him being world champion at any point in time. But it's it's just he's a weird. I see him as a good upper mid level. You know where I put him? Rusev. I put him in the Rusev boat because good upper mid tier. Maybe sniff the world title a couple times. Maybe a challenger here or there, but not a champion. I don't see him as a champion. All right, what you got here? This is probably intelligent. The only thing I can think is that Mello doesn't need to win to be over. I don't like him losing either, but it doesn't hurt him. Right. You're not wrong. Not at all. I agree with that. But it's one of those things where I don't like how, you know, why is he in a tag match? Why is he in a tag match, number one? And why is he losing a tag match? As long as he's not losing singles, I guess it's okay because on tags you can kind of blame somebody else. We understand that, right? Hey, Jordan. um, Oro Mensa defeated Grayson Waller to earn a spot in the Halloween Havoc North American title ladder match. A no-name newcomer against Grayson Waller. Grayson Waller's been in the ring with AJ Styles, but y'all want to do this. Make it make sense. Please. Make it make sense. Hey, Ricky, how you doing today, buddy? Oh, man. But so JD McDonough defeated Tyler Bate to become the top contender for the NXT title. Now, notice that they said the top contender more than they said the number one contender in that statement. You got to read between the lines from times to times, okay? The coolest thing was during McDonough's celebration, Braun Breaker comes to the ring, stood toe to toe with his future opponent. All of a sudden, this music hits. Isla Dragunov appears. Holy crap. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go on to Peacock, watch NXT UK. Isla Dragunov versus Walter 1 and 2. I promise you'll know who the hell I'm talking about. Bad ass. That's what's up, man. I miss NXT UK. I actually missed the days where I missed the weeks where I had time to watch 20 hours of wrestling footage in a week, and then come on here and talk to you guys. Unfortunately, I'm not in that position any longer. But alas, we still do what we can. You feel me? We still make waves. We still make ratings. We're still doing all right. We're still getting downloaded worldwide. 4 countries, or am I up to 5? Hold on. Actually, matter of fact, let me tell you. I'm listen. I hate to toot my own horn, but toot some bitch. Let's see here. Yep. United States, India, Russian Federation, and Belgium. So that's where this show is downloaded at around the globe. So y'all can have this Carolinas region. Y'all can have this east of the muddy waters. I don't remember. And I'll take that. You can have what you got. That's cool. I got this. So see ya. Let's see here. All right. And that was the end of NXT. Yet again, we're 2 shows into the week. We've got 4 more to go. It's this is what we deal with, guys. This is what we deal with. Let's see. Grand Slam, AEW Grand Slam took place this past Wednesday. Chris Jericho defeated Claudio Castagnoli to become the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Champion, Ring of Honor World Champion, whatever you want to call it. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure what this is. I'm not sure what the direction is. But maybe this will do something to get a TV deal for Ring of Honor. Maybe they'll do that. I hope. I would like to see them on television again and not at 1:30 in the morning on some random ass channel. It'd be great. Because yeah, you can DVR it, but after you DVR'd something and you try to watch it the next day, you've already been blown away by Twitter and Facebook and everything else because you're trying to get, you're trying to do your regular social media rounds. But you're being blown away by all the white noise from all these geniuses around the world who, think they know everything, whether their name is Mark J. Brony or their name's Skid Mark or whatever. They're out there spewing their propagandas and telling you what they think of it. No, 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 no. I just need to see it in real time at a decent time, and we can roll with that because I want my emotions and opinions as pure and clear as they can be. So when I deliver it back to you, we're all on par. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, the next matchup that came out on Wednesday night's Dynamite was Swerve and Our Glory defended the tag titles against the Acclaimed and new AEW Tag Team Champions, the Acclaimed. Fantastic matchup. I'm really happy they finally pulled the trigger on those guys. They deserve it. They're busting their asses. They're even out here on the Indies. They're local. They're here. They've been here in the Carolinas lately. I think they were just in Hendersonville yesterday. Yeah, I want to say they were in Hendersonville yesterday doing something. For those of you who are uninitiated or don't leave, Chesney, South Carolina. Hendersonville's Asheville. So that big city up there. Not Charlotte, the other one. Not Raleigh, the other one. We'll get you acclimated eventually. Let's see here. It's time for the All Atlantic Championship matchup. Where did I get these names? But we had Pac versus freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy. I really thought they were going to pull the trigger and have Orange Cassidy win this. Does the guy need a belt? No. Would he be good to have a belt? Yeah, I think it'd be okay to have him on the TBS title or TNT, whatever it is, that thing, TBS TNT title. Yeah, that give him that or this. I feel like this title that they have is a little bit more prestigious than the TBS title held by Wardlow, which is weird. Or TNT, yeah, isn't it TNT title? Yeah, it's the TNT title. It's held by Wardlow, which is where I think it should be opposite. Um, the TNT title, in my opinion, should be the next level, or the level before the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Um, but either way, Pac retained against Orange Cassidy. Moving on to the four-way matchup for the AEW Interim Women's World Championship. Why are they having another four-way? Can somebody elaborate to me on why we're doing another four-way when that was how the belt was won in the first place? I don't. And that was weeks ago. What's the point? That was just a couple weeks ago. Why are we doing it again? Make it make sense. All right. This time it was Tony Storm, Serena Deeb, Britt Baker was in it again, and Athena. Now Athena and Deeb weren't in it last time. It was Jamie Hayter and somebody else. I don't know. I don't remember. But either way, why are we doing it again? Why is there another four-way match for the same title? Make it make sense. Let's see here. I don't know how this match exactly ended because I was a little bit busy during this one. I know that Tony Storm DDT'd Athena, then cradled Baker. Okay, so it looks like Tony Storm rolled up Britt Baker and pinned her. So the match ended. Baker started attacking Storm. Hayter and Baker were double teaming her. Deep attacked Athena. Next thing you know, music hit. Paige is now back, and she's come out under her name Saraya. So it's weird. Paige got in the ring, did all of her, did her talking and whatever. Apparently, she's going to be an active competitor. Let's see how it goes. Hope for the best. Three-time world champion Jon Moxley versus six-time world champion Bryan Danielson. And this is for the AEW World Championship. Back and forth, this went. Death Rider was applied. Or Mox hit Bryan with a Death Rider on the stage. Mox then put in a rear naked choke against Bryan Danielson. Danielson was fading. He was knocked out. And new AEW World Champion Jon Moxley. Yet again, I don't understand why they did what they did the last month for this to be the result. If anything, have Bryan take it. Let Bryan carry it for a while. Let Jon go on his vacation that he was supposed to go. Oh, here we go. We got a comment. Tony Prozek. MJF should have cashed in his chip. Hey, dude, I'm not against that. I would have been fine with that as well. Something different. Give me something different. Give me something more. But I'm going to guess that they didn't want to put the belt on Bryan or MJF to take it really short. They want to give Bryan a good long title reign. But it also proved a lot of the people wrong, people like me. Every time Punk goes home, Bryan Danielson wins a world title. It happened in Ring of Honor. It happened in WWE. And I thought it was going to happen in AEW. So, you know what? I'm happily proven wrong on that one. Impact Wrestling. I had a conversation with a couple of gentlemen last night, and I tell you how this came about. We were backstage. I was getting my notes. I was the ring announcer last night, so I'm back there writing all my notes down. Bump into a referee who's a good friend of mine, and another referee was backstage, and he said, "Hey man, what do you think of?" And I'm like, "Ugh, I don't even want to talk about this. I got too much on my plate. I don't want to talk about this. Not right now." Well, why is that? Because the storylines are better on Impact than they are on this other show. I don't even want to talk about the other show. Why do you keep bringing this up to me? You think it's going to make me change my mind? It's not. I swear to God, WCW 1999 made more sense than this. Let's not play games here. But at any rate, when the other referee was like, "Damn, that's a hard take," but you're right. I agree. People sleeping on Impact. People are sleeping on Impact. No doubt about it. Giselle Shaw defeated Hyan. Let's see here. What's the next matchup? Oh, digital media champion Brian Myers versus Gajar, and it was a ladder match. Um, Brian Myers retains. I'm not going to go into a bunch of detail on Impact because so many people rip it apart. I don't want to burn a lot of time on it. I want to get back into WWE. I'm telling you guys that stop listening to the white noise. Just go watch the damn show because if you don't dial it in on your own, you're not going to get the vibe out of it. So you need to pay attention to it. Impact Wrestling feels like ECW did to me back in the 90s. Which yeah, sorry for all you people. I am that old. I watched it when it was real and when it was live. I watched ECW when it was the shit, when it mattered. Um, what we got? Breaking news. Drew McIntyre's been ill. Holy crap. Yeah, Drew McIntyre has apparently been very ill with food poisoning. He made he made it through SmackDown, including getting IV treatments to help him get through the show. WWE made the decision to pull him from the road so he could rest and recover. Okay. Wow. That is crazy. That just hit me right in the messenger. Um that's nuts. But dude, that's a testament to the guy. That is a testament to that dude because I'm telling you one thing, food poisoning sucks. Uh, he's a freaking machine. He's an absolute machine. That's the other cool thing about being live and breaking news hits. It's like, whoa, we get the chance to put it out there right then and there as soon as we find out. Oh man, knockouts world champion Jordan Grace. So their women's world champion Jordan Grace defeated Zicky Dice with Johnny Swinger. Okay, um, I'm not all about the intergender matches. There's a time and place for everything, and I'm more of the less is more on these. Jordan Grace though could probably legitimately beat most of the men on that roster. So there is that to keep in mind. Black Taurus versus Mia Yim versus Trey Miguel versus Alex Zane versus Laredo Kid. Black Taurus won that matchup. I'm having to scroll through the results I've got written down because there's a lot of debris in here. Um, Heath defeated PCO in a street fight. That is insane. Because PCO man is a classic veteran of hardcore circumstance. There's no doubt about it. Damn it, get off there. There we go. Um, so yet again, and Heath still finding ways to stay on TV. I'm all about it. Fantastic, man. Keep it up because the dude is pretty talented. He does not give he doesn't get the credit that he should for being as good as he is. Now the Motor City Machine Guns defeated the uh, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Team, Aussie Open, and the winners get a Impact World Tag Team match at Bound for Glory, which is their upcoming pay per view. So let's see here. Oh, yep. Something about a contract, barbed wire massacre, hold harmless contract signing. Apparently, Callahan, Moose, and Macklin were in a barbed wire match Friday. But okay, so apparently it was a three-way match with that. And that was the end of Impact. I'm not going to recap their Victory Road show, which was Friday night. Hell, you know what? I will. I wasn't going to. Now I might as well. It only makes sense to do that. Let's see here. The results for Victory Road. Now this took place Friday night alongside of SmackDown and Rampage, so keep that in mind. Also, kind of odd. Rampage decided to be 2 hours that Friday night. Give me a break, guys. What are we doing here? Let's see here. You had the Bullet Club consisting of Juice Robertson, Ace Austin, and Chris Bay defeating Jason Hotz, Shogun, and Jack Price. We had Tasha Steeles defeat Killer Kelly by DQ. X Division champion Mike Bailey defeated Delirious for the in the X Division championship matchup. This show I did not see. It was on pay per view, and I was too busy doing other things. Motor City Machine Guns defeated PCO and Vincent. Mickey James defeated Giselle Shaw. Let's see. Triple Threat Revolver winner gets challenge for the winner gets to challenge for the X Division title at Bound for Glory. Mia Yim, Laredo Kid, and Trey Miguel. Then Laredo Kid gets removed. It turns to Mia Yim versus Trey Miguel versus Alex Zane. Alex Zane gets eliminated. Mia Yim versus Trey Miguel versus Kenny King. Then Mia Yim gets eliminated. So it becomes Trey Miguel, Kenny King, and Yayuya Yamura. I guess. I'm not sure who that is. Yamura gets eliminated. It becomes Trey Miguel, Kenny King, and Frankie Kazarian. Miguel taps out in a rear naked choke. It's now Kenny King, Frankie Kazarian, and Black Taurus. Then Frankie Kazarian defeated Kenny King and Black Taurus. So Frankie Kazarian is your new number one contender. I believe that's what that was going for, the X Division title, right? Where are we at? Yep. Triple Threat Revolver winner challenges for the X title. Then, after all that happened, Bobby Fish shows up and makes his debut at Impact Wrestling. He just left AEW and now he's already on Impact. Okay. Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, Heath go up against Honor No More, which is Eddie Edwards, and the Impact World Tag Titles, or World Tag Champions, rather, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. Honor No More defeated the Impact World Champion Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, and Heath. Knockouts World Championship. Jordan Grace versus Max the Impaler in a pick your poison match. And Jordan Grace defeated Max the Impaler for that one. They announced that Raven is going to be the newest member of the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame. That's odd. Huh. People actually giving recognition to him? What a concept. You wouldn't believe it that he's one of the most psychological wrestlers that there ever has been. The guy's a freaking genius in the ring. But no, he's underrated because people love to hate on, shit that happened 30 years ago. Sammy Callahan versus Moose versus Steve Macklin in Barbed Wire Massacre. Steve Macklin defeated Sammy Callahan and Moose. I get it. But at the same time, in my book, for my money, that's a Sammy Callahan match. That had his name written all over it to be the winner. And Sammy Callahan comes out looking like Mick Foley. That's what made it even more odd, was the exact replica he was going as Mick Foley. Heading into Friday night SmackDown. Phew. Had to get a drink there. So, with that being said, Friday night SmackDown. Where in the hell? It actually doesn't have the results. Let's see here. I know Braun Strowman defeated the guy from the Alpha Academy, Otis. The Usos retained in the main event. Oh, Liv Morgan beat Lacey Evans. That was badass when she went through the table with that senton after the match. Oh, that was awesome. She kicked the damn camera guy. That was nuts. Logan, that's the old one. Wonder why the results are not there. At any rate, I can't even remember all of what happened for that matchup. Oh, we opened the show with Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn and the Bloodline being out there. And, one of the Usos really hates Sammy, so he went over there and ripped his shirt off and everything else. That was hilarious because I was bought and sold into it. I was like, hook, line, sinker, they're gonna kick his ass. He's not getting out of here unscathed. They had him his custom shirt made, and they welcomed him into the Bloodline a little further. That's pretty funny. Somebody made the comparison of it's like bringing Eugene into Evolution, like they did 20 years ago. Funny analogy, very funny analogy. Is still, if that's the direction it goes, that's how it goes. You got to have your punching bag. You got to have somebody take the ass whipping while everybody else just sits back and counts the money. That's how it works. Braun Strowman and Otis was two powerhouses going insane. Good stuff. Enjoyed it much. Scarlett tried to do a fireball, which obviously missed by about yay much. But it still was enough to probably freak Drew out. So you got to keep that stuff there. And she hit him with a low blow after Drew was attacking Karrion Kross during SmackDown. Either way, another fantastic show. Raquel Rodriguez was out there. Shotzi ended up coming out to her aid. Still an odd thing the way they're doing that. Raquel ended up securing the victory anyway. but it's weird that they're bringing them back together. Raquel and Dakota were tight, and they're bringing Shotzi in. It's just it's trying to find the point to make it make sense again. I guess with Aaliyah injured right now, they're trying to do something to fill the void. But alas, you got to make it make sense, but you don't want it so simple that anybody can follow. You, that's wrong wording. You want it easy enough for people to follow without being too convoluted, but still intricate to keep you interested. That's how I wanted to put that. Um, man, SmackDown delivering yet again for a Friday night badass show. AEW Rampage Grand Slam is what we're talking about now. This was the last show of the week before we hit the weekend, and there was nothing on this weekend. Thank you, God. So Darby Allin Sting versus the House of Black, Brody King and Buddy Matthews. Can we talk about how piss poor the spot was for Julia Hart? Can we talk about how bad that was? You don't have enough room to do this spot. Don't do the spot. And they did it again. They've done it time and time again, over and over again. It never stops. It seems like that's all they want to do is overcrowd and over tighten everything up until you end up with something that happens like this. Julia Hart missed 80% of the table. Like a little bit of her ass caught it on, or her feet caught it on the way down. She essentially landed back of her head first on concrete because she missed the entire ring pad, and her face went dead underneath of the guardrail out there. Stupid. You could the girl could have gotten a broken neck from that. Why are you so dumb? Why do dumb shit with your talent and you do it over and over and over again? I don't understand it. I don't get it. I understand it ain't ballet. I understand that accidents can happen at any time. I understand all these things. I'm there. But for God's sakes, you've got to be smarter than what you're working with. There's no way in hell that this wasn't logically tested, logistically looked at, and broken down scientifically beforehand. If they all were just in the bag and said, "Oh yeah, I can do that," you didn't go test it first. You know what? Let's build a new rocket and not test any of the components and just send it and see what happens. Crash and burn. Exactly what happened on Rampage. Stupid move, stupid idea, stupid creative. Didn't like it at all. We ended up next with a Hook and Action Bronson versus Angelo Parker and Matt Menard. Let's see here. Bronson put Red Rum on Menard, and they won via tap out. So Hook had one of them, on Cool Hand, and the other one got on Angelo, and his partner Action Bronson ended up with Red Rum, which is the choke that they use, on the other one, Matt Menard, and that's how they send it out. Okay, decent match. It worked out, but I'm not understanding Action Bronson's part in this. What is his? Where did he come from? What's the connection between him and Hook? I You see what I'm saying? Like, I know that wasn't Bronson a rapper, or isn't he a rapper or something like that? What's the connection with him and Hook though? Like, you got to make it all make sense. TNT champion Wardlow And Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe take on Josh Woods and Tony Nese. Wardlow powerbomb. Oh wait, nope. Wardlow power bombing Smart Mark Sterling happened after the matchup. Nese charged to Joe. Joe countered with the Muscle Buster and pinned Tony Nese. So there you have it. TNT champion Wardlow and Ring of Honor World Television champion Samoa Joe win. Next up was Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Ray Phoenix. Ray Phoenix used a frog splash on the Jungle Boy, but Jungle Boy managed to kick out, countered with a Blackfire driver, and pinned Ray Phoenix. The way that they're setting up Jungle Boy to keep him going, I like it that they're keeping him relevant. They're keeping him kind of heated up. At the same time, I don't know if I agree with doing it at the expense of somebody else who's in a higher position on the card. You see what I mean? You could bring in a local heel. You could bring in a heel from below the card, lower on the card, and get this done. You don't need to burn up somebody who is actually holding a title at the time, because isn't he part of the Trios Championship? Isn't that Ray Phoenix? No, that's not. Isn't he in Death Triangle? Isn't it Ray Phoenix, Penta, and Pac? Yeah, right? I'm right? Anybody who watches AEW out there? I can't remember right now. I just, certain things aren't there anymore. So, but at any rate, after the match, Christian Cage comes out and they get to talking and bickering back and forth. Luchasaurus shows up, choke slam Jungle Boy. Okay, we're still going with this. The Mad King, Eddie Kingston versus Sammy Guevara. We're getting this match, 2 months after we were supposed to have it already, but because they had personal problems and shit backstage, they didn't want to put them in the match. Kingston locked on the submission. Ref ended the match as Sammy was unable to defend himself. Eddie would not release the hold after the match. Jerry Lynn ran down to try to talk sense into Kingston. AEW official Paul Turner reversed the decision. So therefore, Eddie Kingston won, but the victory was taken from him and given to Sammy Guevara. That's something you do to a heel, not a face. Sammy Guevara's a heel. If he had the submission locked in and didn't let go and the ref reversed the decision, the crowd would pop. When you do it to a face like Eddie Kingston, the crowd goes, well, why the heck? Are we more interested in this now? It throws the allure off of everything to me. I don't understand it. Like I said earlier, the logical selling points when it comes to AEW Dynamite aren't there to me. Impact Wrestling is holding better storylines. Don't believe me? Watch Thursday. Tell me if I'm wrong. As a matter of fact, you can watch them in order. You can go Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Watch all three. See how it pans out for you. Oh, man. Jade Cargill versus Diamante with Trina. So I guess it was the rapper Trina that they were talking about, because I was trying to figure out who they were talking about, the baddest bitch from 305 or whatever. Either way. After the match, Trina smacked Diamante and then or was it Diamante? Either way. And aligned herself with Jade and the baddies. What, yet again, is the point? Jade's already over. The baddies are already a thing and over. Why stack a rapper into this? Make it make sense. Please make it make sense. Grand Slam Golden Ticket Battle Royal. The winner earns a future world title shot. MJF just won the chip at the last pay-per-view. Why do we have a golden ticket now? So now you got a champion and two guys with the ability to ask for a title match. Does anybody else see the problem here, or is it just me? Make it make sense. Gosh. The illogical and logistical points of the show drive me insane. Ended up with Hangman Page and Rush as the final two, or Roosh as the final two. Hangman eliminated him and will face the AEW World Champion. So we're gonna get Hangman and Moxley. Why? What sense does that make? Hangman is a good guy. Moxley's a good guy. I'd have been happier with Roosh. At least you knew what you were gonna get there. I don't see the point in burying Hangman Adam Page against John Moxley right now. And if anybody even comes up with saying, "Oh well, Hangman's gonna beat him," it's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. Why would they do that? What logical reason is there? So they can have another one with Bryan and him when Daniel Bryan is like, what, they're 1-1 now, 1 win, 1 loss, and 1 draw apiece. It would be stupid to do that. For the place that's supposed to be sports oriented and make sense, it's killing me. Main event time. Absolute Ricky Starks, Powerhouse Hobbs, lights out matchup. Starks ended up hitting Hobbs with the lights, finished off Hobbs with a Rochambeau, and pinned him. Good God Almighty, Dynamite is over after 2 hours. Anyways, folks, that has been your weekly recap. If anybody out there has anything to say, you got any objections, concerns, other stuff that you think is pertinent to the situation, you go ahead and you lay it on me right here, right now in the comments section. If not, it's about to be dinner time. I probably should eat today. Yesterday was show day, man, and show day, you get the pre-show jitters, you get a little bit of nerves on you, you don't eat as much. Me, I just try to go out there and make sure I perform as best I can and do the best I can. But guess what? Be sure you tune in this Thursday night for the Thursday night Indie Spotlight. As I said, we will recap CPW as presented by American Wrestling League along with Pro Wrestling Union. We will recap that takeover show. We will preview his pro wrestling, which is coming to us Friday night, Packlet, South Carolina. We will then talk about Saturday, October the 1st, the Holly Yatsko Memorial Cup, which is being done up in Rutherfordton, North Carolina. Can't wait for both shows. Our guest, our good friend, the referee himself, Gene Perry, will be here to put us on the latest on the Holly Cup, and I'm gonna do the same thing I did the last time because they done changed the card on me, and I'm gonna razzle him about it too. I'm gonna be like, hey man, look, you changed the card because I predicted the winners. We'll do it. I'm gonna take it, write it down. I'm gonna write down his card as they go, and I'm gonna build my tournament bracket, and then I'm gonna start crossing through and say, well, here's your winner, here's my pick. Let's see if they change the card again, because if that's what happened, if I saw it from ground from completely sight unseen, no idea. I don't work for the company, so I can't tell you anything about them. I don't talk to their booker. I don't talk to their promoter. I don't talk to anything about it. The only one I know there really is Gene. That's out there, right? That's out there, ain't it? It can happen. But at any rate, guys, I look forward to catching all of you this weekend. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful week. Let's knock this work week out and get back to some good wrestling next weekend. I will see you all back here live next Sunday. Thus proclaimed, the Saint.